Hurricane Katrina stopped many of the tourists from coming to New Orleans to see people like Jeff Chaz play the blues.
I used to tour all the time because I played guitar with Jerry Lee Lewis, I played trombone with Albert King, I played with a few big stars. Every day I have the blues.
Chaz grew up in Louisiana, cut his grade school teeth on the jazz trombone, and later immersed himself in the Memphis blues.
Cross between Memphis blues and New Orleans rhythm, you know, kind of like barbecue meets gumbo, you know.
He says Bourbon Street is alive and well now, but gigs are limited for musicians like him. When an accountant from Lexington, who's a big Jeff Chaz fan, offered to sponsor the group for 2 nights in Lexington, Chaz jumped on it.
I just like the blues music. They play good music, and I wanted to help them out, and I knew they needed help, so, you know, I'm certainly not suffering nearly as much as they did.
You find out who your friends are after a big disaster, you know, after something bad happens, and he stepped up to the plate. Big boss man.
So for at least 2 nights, Main and Esplanade in Lexington are ringing with a taste of Bourbon Street.
Oh, big boss man. Don't you hear me when I call?
Millions of people post publicly on this website every day. Jason Johnson thought only his friends were looking at his page, but he was wrong.
I almost consider, MySpaces and Xangas and those kind of personal blog things, in a way, they're kind of like toys.
But school officials at the University of the Cumberlands weren't playing. They had seen Jason's MySpace page, and they knew he was gay.
And that I have to infer that somebody had to have submitted it or they had to have stumbled across it somehow.
Jason says the dean of students told him he would have to withdraw from school because his sexual orientation violated a school policy.
I've been surprised that they've really been really harsh about it and really cracked down a lot harder on me, and sort of I feel kind of singled out about it.
Johnson says there wasn't a sexual orientation policy when he first enrolled at the school. He says it was added to the school's handbook at the beginning of this school year. He didn't think it would affect him.
I thought that pretty much it was one of those things that was in there for the sake of being in there, and it was in there in name only, but it wasn't really going to be enforced.
Despite the school's strict guidelines, Johnson says he chose to attend because of his religious beliefs and his upbringing.
I've been a Christian all my life, been raised in a very strong Baptist church, raised by very strong parents, and I'm gay, and I'm okay with both of those things.
And since that wasn't okay at his former school, thousands have rallied behind him. Strangers write him messages of support on his MySpace page. His story has gained national attention.
I'll wake up and in the morning I've got, 3 pages of instant messages or emails or just random people just saying, hey, we support you.
He believes this experience, although trying, will make it easier for others like himself to be heard.
And knowing that I've made such an impact on somebody's life has been really, it just makes me even more assured that, I can continue to do this, and I can continue to show people that being gay and being Christian are not mutually exclusive things, that they are, that you can be one and the same.
Kelly Wilson, WKYT 27 News First.
Well, I bought this ticket tonight, and I didn't really have a strategy, but I wanted to pick numbers with a purpose. So I picked my birthday, my age, 27 for WKYT, and my photographer Zach's baseball number. But you won't believe what other people will do to try and find their lucky numbers.
When there's money involved, people will consult just about anything to pick the right numbers.
Should I pick number 2? Sure.
Can you find fortune in this cookie?
Yeah, it's funny that you asked that, because we were eating at a Chinese restaurant the other day, and I looked at the number and I said, these look like good numbers.
Skeptics say you won't find dough here.
I used the numbers that came out of it. I thought maybe it was some kind of crazy luck or something like that.
What happened?
It didn't even get no numbers.
So, are some numbers luckier than others?
I guess a lot of people would say 13 would be an unlucky number. That's my favorite numbers. I don't know if there's any unlucky numbers.
Someone begs to differ.
28 is the birthday of an ex of mine, so they're bad luck.
So maybe it's not about the right numbers. If you want to get lucky in Kentucky, maybe you need the right charms.
Right here.
Okay.
Kind of rub it before I put it on there.
The luckiest thing is my Honda hat.
I cross my toes when they hand me the card.
But even with all the superstition and lucky charms in the world, it all comes down to the bounce of 6 balls.
I think it's just a very odd coincidence, extremely lucky, one of a zillion person to hit it. I mean, you better just luck. I don't think there's any skill to picking the numbers whatsoever.
Well, I wasn't a winner tonight. In fact, I didn't have any numbers at all. But now that I have these, I think I'll be luckier next time. Reporting live in Lexington, I'm Kelly Wilson, 27 News First.
That I seen a big gush of smoke come up across the street, and that's when I knew it was the houses, it was the businesses.
Lexington police, firefighters, and hazmat crews all responded to Fayette Rental and Sales just off For Sales Road, where flames engulfed the building.
The smoke was so bad, it was burning my eyes, my face. You know, it still hurts in my lungs, man. I mean, it's got to be all kinds of chemicals and stuff up in there.
Heavy smoke and strong flames forced firefighters to evacuate many of the neighbors from their homes.
The building across the street's on fire now. I know, we're going to move it. My whole house is corroded.
Initially made an interior attack on the fire, but due to the heavy volume of fire, we had to pull our crews back out for their safety.
Fire officials also say one neighbor was taken to the hospital with smoke inhalation. Now, as you can see, fire crews are still on the scene as they are putting out smoke and flames. We talked to one man who says he's sad because he's lost a building that's been in his family for more than 33 years.
When I came to work here, I was, I guess, 21 years old and operated out of this building for a long time and knew all the people across the street, and hopefully a phoenix will come up out of the ashes and something good will happen.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but in the meantime, cleanup efforts will begin to get the neighborhood back to normal. Reporting in Lexington, Mario Anderson, 27 News First.